What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Real Deal Kill, back again with another one. I'm not gonna lie, I've already filmed this video once, but I didn't record it. You know, I'm looking at y'all right now, and I was so convinced that I pressed record on my phone, but I didn't. And so, you know, this is take 2. I cannot believe that. That is absolutely crazy. But yeah, man, so I have a story time for y'all today. This is just randomly thought up. Not that the story's fake. It's just like I randomly thought of it at a time and thought it'd be a good idea. So today's story time is about how I thought I had cancer or disease. I really don't know the difference between the two, but yeah, that's the story for today. But yeah, man, so hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. Well, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content from your boy. Let's get started. For a majority of last year, my primary doctor recommended me to a kidney physician because my blood pressure has been slightly elevated over the years. And, you know, I guess they just want to be precautionary about things and make sure that everything's good because it's kind of abnormal for someone who is my age and particularly healthy to have higher blood pressure, right? So go to this kidney doctor, and I've probably done like 3 or 4 different blood tests from like March of 2022 till literally the end of the year. Pretty much all the tests was just showing like how my body functions were working and, you know, my kidneys and all that other jibber jabber. Everything was good, but I did have higher creatine levels. The creatine level, it plays a part in the story. Very important. So I've been doing these blood tests, and the kidney physician, he recommends that I don't work out a week before the blood drawing because it will elevate my creatine levels than what they usually are. Now, my creatine levels normally are a little higher because, you know, I work out frequently. And, you know, I have more muscle mass. So, of course, my creatine levels will be elevated higher. Like I said earlier, that plays a pivotal part in the story. The last test I took was probably the beginning of November. At that appointment, you know, the front desk receptionist, she gives me a card, and it's a login to a portal where I can see all of my results from not even prior tests, but the one I'm about to take, right? The one I'm about to take there at the office. I go in and do my thing, right? Yada yada. I'm out of there in like 2 minutes. I promise you, I'm in there. The blood drawing itself takes like 5 minutes. If you ever get blood drawn, make sure you drink a lot of water, by the way. So, you know, when you drink a lot of water, it's easy, your blood's flowing more. So it's easier for them to draw the blood. If you're dehydrated and you're getting your blood drawn, you're in for a treat, and not a good one, because they got to do a lot of moving around to make sure that the blood's going. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So yeah, I get the blood drawing, I'm out of there. I love going to the doctor, one, because, you know, my physician, she's cool. And then the kidney doctor, he's cool too. The only downside is it is far. I had to drive 30+ minutes just to sit somewhere for less than 20 minutes. So that's the downside. So, but other than that, everything's cool. Probably like a week before Thanksgiving, I get the results in the portal, and everything is in the normal range besides my creatine levels, right? So my creatines are slightly elevated, nothing too crazy. So, you know, I get out of there of my results or whatever, and then I go to the conditions. Of course, I see hypertension, which is high blood pressure, renal, caused by the kidneys. And then I see CKD. Now in my mind, I'm like, what the heck is CKD? What the heck is CKD? And then I had stage 2 next to it in parentheses. So CKD stage 2. And I'm like, what the heck is that? So I click on it for a further in-depth details about what it is. And so I get the name of the full acronym, and it is chronic kidney disease. Now my mind is like, what? Chronic kidney disease? How in the world do I have that? Like, I'm relatively healthy. I work out frequently. My diet could be better, but it's not the worst. So I'm like, how is this possible? So, you know, I'm kind of like freaking out. I'm like, man, it's the end of the year, and this is what I find out. We're about to end 2022, go into 2023, and this is the news that I get, that I have CKD, chronic kidney disease, stage 2 in parentheses. And so, you know, the first thing that I do, I go straight to Google. the worst thing I could have possibly done at that time, but I wanted to know more about what chronic kidney disease was. They tell me what it is, and pretty much my kidneys is messed up. I don't know if it's both or one, but one of my kidneys is messed up. And then I'm like, oh my goodness. And then I look at the mortality rate. I see the stages, right? There's 5 stages. 1 and 2 are pretty much your kidneys are operating at a normal function. 3 to 5 is when it starts to get detrimental to your health. Man, I'm thinking like, how am I gonna keep it at stage 2? Then I'm also thinking like, how does this progress as it goes from stages 3 to 4 to 5, and like, how long am I going to live? Like, I'm just thinking the worst of the possible worst. And the worst part was I was working. Luckily, I worked from home that day. If I was in the office and then I found out that I had CKD stage 2 in parentheses, I would have lost it internally, because there's no way that anybody would find out about that unless I wanted them to find out. But I didn't want them to find that out. So I'm just going about my day. Well, not really. I was so sad, man. I'm sulking in my head. I got a million thoughts in my head about life. My heart hurts. It's like I got punched in the stomach and got my heart broken at the same time. And I'm just thinking like, man, things are starting to turn around for me, man. I'm getting my issues getting together finally and all that. And now I find this out, right? I'm texting my girlfriend, right? Because, I was telling her about like everything that I had to do, like go through like for the doctors or whatever. And so she asked me how my results look, right? And so I'll have a screenshot, but pretty much I just said, well, everything was good, but I just found out I have chronic kidney disease. Now, imagine if your significant other told you you had cancer or a disease. How do you think that they would react if they give any sort of damn about you? They'd be hysterical, of course. And that's exactly what she was. Of course, she's freaking out. She tells her family, her parents, that I have it. And, they're like, prayers, wish you the best and all that, which I appreciate. But I can't even say but, because like I can't relate to that, because I'm not the one who was told that. And so, she calls me crying. Mind you, she's at work. And like, she's physically at the job. And so she's called, she's like, hello. Like, all crying. I'm like, yeah. I'm sad. I'm like, yeah. She's like, are you gonna be okay? Yada, yada. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be fine. Whatever. Just gotta, like, talk to the doctor, whatever. She's like, did you tell your parents? And I was like, nah, I haven't told them yet. And she's like, oh my gosh, you should probably tell them. I'm like, yeah, I probably do need to tell them. Because they should know. And, in my mind, I'm like, damn, how am I gonna go about this? Like, do I just break the news to them? Do I just come out with it? I have chronic kidney disease stage 2 in parentheses. I don't know how I attack this, right? I'm just thinking. And it comes around like 2 o'clock, right? And mind you, I find this out at like 10:30, 11. So it's been like 3.5, almost 4 hours. And so I go into my mom's room because she's working from home. And in my mind, I'm like, damn, I already know I'm gonna probably bust out in tears once I tell her this. And that's exactly what happened. So I go in there, I tell her, I'm like, Mom, I just found my results in the portal, and they said I had chronic kidney disease. And she's like, what? And she's like, did the doctor tell you this? And I'm like, no. And then she's like, where'd you find this? And I'm like, Mom, it was in the portal. And she's like, and your doctor didn't tell you you had it? And she's like, no. And she's like, why are you freaking out then? And then at that moment, I started thinking like, you know what? I think my doctor would have told me if I had that. I would think finding out that you had some sort of illness, I don't think they would want you to find out via portal. They would want to tell you personally. He never told me that, hey, like, you may be at risk for chronic kidney disease. That never came into discussion, even when I first started going there. Never was in the discussion. I started to calm down a little bit. I'm like, oh, maybe she's right. You know how moms are, very encouraging, supportive. She's like, you probably don't have it, but if you do, just know we got you, and that's why you got insurance. And I was like, yeah, you're right. That's why I do got insurance. Because I'm gonna tell you what, them blood drawings and those appointments I had for the kidney doctor, bruh, them hoes is not cheap, bruh. Them hoes is not cheap, bruh. Like, that adds up. And I was looking at the prices without the adjusted price because of my insurance. And I'm like, yo, I see why people don't go to the doctor, at least in America, because that is crazy how expensive it is, bro. And I was only here for 20 minutes. Just imagine you get charged. You were somewhere. You're in a doctor's office for 20 minutes and you got charged $800. That is absurd. So like, the medical bills, they definitely can add up quick on your behind, especially if you don't keep up with them. Luckily, I paid them. Probably shouldn't have, but I did. But anyway, so I'm feeling better. I'm like, man, you know what? She's probably right. Like, maybe I'm just like, the portal's on some BS, and I just gotta find out from my doctor, right? 2 weeks later, that's when I had my appointment to go over my results. I go to the doctor, right? I had to log my blood pressure while I'm under the medication just to make sure it was working. I don't know if I said that already, but if I did, I apologize. I gave that to him, and he was just ecstatic because my blood pressure levels were great under it, right? And so I asked him, right? And I'm like, hey, like, so I was looking on the portal and it said I had CKD stage 2. I asked him, like, do I have it? Or, you know what this man said to me? This man said, oh, no, you don't have it. I just forgot to remove the value from your portal. I don't think this man understands how stressed I was for about 3 hours of the day because he forgot to take something out. Now, other than that, he's been great. Cool guy. Very helpful, but that right there, I wasn't mad or I wasn't pissed off. It was just like, really? You forgot to take that off? And I was like, we established that you have higher creatine levels because you work out frequently and you have higher muscle mass. He told me that the reason that it said that is because of the value of my creatine level. Now imagine if my issue was much higher, I'd probably be at stage 3 or 4. So he was like, yeah, the creatine level plays a big part in the chronic kidney disease stage 2's progression, I guess, like stage progression or whatever. And so he removed it, and mind you, at the time when I found out that I had chronic kidney disease stage 2 in parentheses, I didn't even think about that. Like, that thought, that the thing that he told me about about me having a higher creatine level because I worked out and stuff, that totally went blank from my mind because I wasn't thinking about that. I'm just thinking about my life. I just thought I had a cancer, a sickness, an illness, a disease. And you want me to remember that? Of course I'm not going to remember that. Of course not. Everything was good. He removed it, and I just went on about my day. Moral of the story: go to the doctor. If you have anything wrong with you, please go get checked out, especially if you have insurance. Make sure you get your physicals. Make sure you go to the dentist or whatever the case may be, man. We want to make sure our teeth are on point and our health is too. The last thing you will want is you be 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, you have a stroke, a heart attack, or something crazy, and you find out you have this illness because of underlying symptoms that you didn't know of because you didn't go to the doctor. Get checked up, especially if you have insurance in America. And then 2, don't self-diagnose yourself. If you want to drive yourself insane, please be my guest. Self-diagnose yourself all you want, because it's crazy how that works, right? It's crazy how our mind be playing tricks on us, bro. Like, when I was going through, when I was on Google finding out like what chronic kidney disease stage 2 in parentheses was, I was on WebMD, I was on Google looking up the symptoms and stuff, and then out of nowhere, it would seem like I had the symptoms right there and then, even though I've had no recollection of any symptoms I had prior to me taking all these blood tests, and even when I was taking all these blood tests, right? Be my guest, bro. If that's what you do, that's what you do. But I'm not doing that no more because I refuse to drive myself insane. With that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, man. The story time. I hope I made it lighthearted and funny because at that time, it was not. I was going through it for about 3 hours of the 24-hour day, bro. That's about 1/8 of the day, bro. That's a long time to be in distress. But now I'm here, 2023, we made it. You already know the vibes, man. Be sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe for more from your boy. Peace out, guys.